Welcome back to Capital Connections. I'm John O'Connor, your host. Now, let's rejoin the Monadnock area community at the Keene Recreation Center as Bernie Sanders, a Democrat running for president, will address the issue of senior poverty in America.
In America today, we have 45 million people who live in poverty. We have 35 million people who have no health insurance. We have hundreds of thousands who cannot afford to go to college. We have people working incredibly long hours for low wages. We are seeing an increase in senior poverty, and many seniors in this country are trying to get by on $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 Social Security. I frankly don't know how they do that. And how they do that is by, not heating up their homes in the winter or buying the medicine that they need or buying the food they need. That's how they get by. And I think what we have got to say as a nation is that is not acceptable. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world, and our seniors should not be having to make a choice between food and medicine. I am the ranking member, which means the leader of the opposition on the Senate Budget Committee. So I've worked on the budget issue quite a lot. Now you don't know it because I don't think the media did much in the way of reporting it, but I want to tell you what the budget was that passed the U.S. Congress last month. This is what it did. At a time when we have 35 million Americans without any health insurance, the Republican budget terminated the Affordable Care Act and made massive cuts in Medicaid. The result of that is they threw in their budget 27 million Americans off of health insurance. That was their proposal that they give to the appropriations committees. Okay? At a time when millions of working class families are trying to figure out how they're going to send their kids to college, and when the Pell Grant program is the major source of federal funding for those families, Republicans over a 10-year period cut Pell Grants by $90 billion. At a time when we have families in New Hampshire and Vermont, all across this country, who are struggling in terms of figuring out how they're going to put food on their table for their kids. Republican budget made massive cuts in nutrition programs, food stamps, etc., and even the WIC program, which provides nutrition to low-income pregnant women and little babies. And in the midst of that budget, while they cut food for hungry kids, they did manage to provide over $200 billion in tax breaks for the wealthiest 0.2% by repealing the estate tax. So what we say to our Republican friends, that is not the America that we believe in. What we believe is that all of our people should have at least a minimum and dignified standard of living. The Republican candidates for president, whether it is Jeb Bush or Rick Perry or whoever they are, Chris Christie, one of their key plans is to cut Social Security. And what we say to them is not only are you not going to cut Social Security, we are going to expand Social Security.
When we come back, we'll hear more from the presidential candidate as he talks about Social Security and working wages. Please listen to these messages in the meantime.